Okay.
So I've got to put that in OSPF area 1. So I need to create the OSPF area and routing domain. It's using Autonomous System 100. Router OSPF 100. Network 201.68.109.0. I have to use wildcard bits, just like an access list. So, what's /25 going to be? 127. 0.0.0.127. And then it's in what area? 0. That's all I should have to do routing-wise on R1. Now I need to IP this network 201.68.109.96/30. So I'll do real quick on R0.
Bryan, you don't need to add the network for the other OSPF for it to be able to.
This here?
Yeah, you don't need to. No, the OSPF 100 area 1. You don't need to put that in R1 so that they both know.
Nope. Trust me, R1 and R0 will talk to one another. They will pass that information.
Okay.
That's the beauty of a dynamic routing protocol. Okay. So I need to set up my other interface, which is int f00. Give its IP address, which was 201.68.109.98. /30. Oh, looks like I have an issue here. Let me read number 4 again. Oh, I was supposed to go to a 29. That's why. Okay. So. There. I goofed that up somehow. Sorry about that. Alright. Comes up just fine. Then I'm going to do a show run real fast. Look at my interfaces. Okay. This is my outside interface. My inside interface. That's all good. I have my routing protocol. Now, in order for you to get all points for number 2, ensure you have full 100% connectivity between all routed networks, including all networks to be routable from R1's Ethernet interface downward. This is a routable network here. I did not put it in there. This is a routable network here, the internet. What's the one static route that you had to do in Lab 1? One static route you had to do in Lab 1 in order to ensure you had connectivity to the internet. A default route, right? Even though it's not specifically stated in the question, you don't have a default route to the internet, you won't get to the internet. And since we're using dynamic routing, this network here, if it does not learn about that dynamic route, if this network here, if it does not learn about that dynamic route, you won't be able to route to the internet. So there's one thing we have to do within OSPF, and one thing we have to do in global configuration mode to make that happen. We have to create a default route. Who remembers how to do that? What's the command?
Route.
Close.
IP.
IP space route. Very close. Route is the Linux command. Okay. Very close. All right. And then what? Zeros. 2 sets of 4 zeros, right? And then what? My next hop. Well, if I look at my diagram, my next hop is 201.68.109.97. Okay, my default route's there. Now I have to tell OSPF to take that default route and inject it into its routing table. Okay, so I have to go back into OSPF. And the command, the single command to propagate that route through OSPF to other routing protocols is default-information space originate. Now, you'll see that when I get to the other routers. So, R1 is set up now for routing. Let's go to R2 real quick and set up its interfaces and its routing protocols. I just did all that on R2, didn't I? Damn! Oh, brother. Okay, no problem.
Just change it out.
So this is for outer one.
Alright, so here real quick on Fast Ethernet 01. Alright, let me go back to R1 and actually I'll do the EIGRP real quick too. Router EIGRP 25, I believe. Yeah, 25. This is the autonomous system number. Now, with the EIGRP, it's just a standard subnet mask. It's not a wildcard mask. Alright, but with that, you need to also do a command called no auto summary. Alright, let's fix R1. Okay.
The redistribution, do we do it from R1 or from R2?
R2. I'll get to that in a minute. I messed up on the OSPF as well, so let me just fix that. Router OSPF 100, no net, 201.68.109.0. One dot 68.109.128. Subnet right. There we go. All right. So once I fix that, I now have a connection between R1 and R2. Check R1 here real fast. Alright, I need to make that static route. Go to OSPF, do the default information originate command. Alright, there's my speed. That looks right. I have that in there, that's correct. Alright, now let me go back to R2. Alright, I have my fast Ethernet in there, I have EIGRP in there, I have OSPF in there. Alright, so now, if I go to R2 and I look at my routing table, if I do a show IP route, I have my 192 network, my 201 network, and here, look at that, from OSPF, I'm seeing an all 0/0, that's the default route that I'm getting. If I did not have that default information originate command in OSPF, if I took it out, that would disappear. Very important you have that command in there. Okay? If I go to R1 and I do a show IP route, well, I have my static route, which is good. And I see my networks that are connected, but I don't see anything from, I wouldn't see anything from OSPF because that's connected. But I don't see that 192 network, do I? Okay? Because I am not redistributing EIGRP into OSPF. They're two separate routing protocols. They don't know anything about one another unless I tell it to them. And I would do that in R2. So in R2, if I go into OSPF, and I tell it to redistribute the routes that you learned from, or the networks you learned from EIGRP, it'll populate it into the routing table and R1 will pick it up. I do that with the redistribute command. EIGRP, the autonomous system number, which is 25. And if I hit return right here, it'll work. Or I can specify the metrics of what to expect from EIGRP, which I'm going to do here. Metric, the OSPF default metric, I'm just going to make it 1.
What does that mean exactly?
Basically, what the metric is its default parameter for recalculation of the dual algorithm in OSPF. That's a lot of techie speak for, it's just a freaking variable that goes into a mathematical calculation. That's all.
All that command is doing is telling OSPF and router 2 to learn everything from EIGRP.
Right. But here it looks at, ooh, only classful networks would be redistributed. All right. I have to put the keyword subnets behind it in order for it to recognize the subnet mask. There. As asked right in the memory, if I go back to R1 now and do a show IP route, you now see that I have an E2 of that 192.168 network that's learned via R2 in my routing table, whereas before it was not there. Before that was not there. Before I did the redistribute command. Okay? Now, on to R3. F01 is connected to the OSPF cloud. IP add 201.68.109.1. And 0 address is 172.21.00. Okay. Now, network 201.68.1.9. Ah, I goofed again. /29. Not a /25. So my /29 would be 128, 192, 224, 248. Let me make sure I do that for all of these. Yep. There we go. All right, cool. Now, just for giggles, I'm going to ping 201.68.109.130 and 129. Do that connectivity with them. Next, I'm going to go into R3 and router OSPF 100, network 172.21. 68, 9, 28. Boom, 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 boom. Everything comes up. Now,
I thought it was supposed to be. Isn't it your budget port 127? I thought it was a session.
that's because I have, I have to fix that on all 3 routers.
Oh, okay.
I have to fix it on all 3 routers. So, that would be something different. Can't give you everything, guys. Come on. Make sure you check your masks. Okay, what he was talking about is in OSPF, on all 3 routers this matches up, which is fine, it'll work. It should actually be matching this IP address. Well, no, 248 from 255. So, 7. It's still going to work though because I got full connectivity. If I do a show IP route,
Hey, why would it work?
I see everything from R3. Alright, so I get full connectivity. But you're right, you would lose a point if you didn't have your wildcard mask in OSPF correct. So don't do that. Don't do as I say, not as I do, darn it. Alright, so a lot of work there for number 1 and number 2.
That was just 1 and 2.
That was just 1 and 2.
Got 20% of your grade right there.
Told you we were going to step it up from Lab 1. Block any routing of RFC 1918 networks to the internet. You can pretty much cut and paste this from R1, from Lab 1.
Yeah, that's
So we go into R1, and I make a standard access list. Access list 1, deny, I'm not going to give you the third one again. I'm not going to give you everything. Now what do I have to do? To permit any. Now I have to apply it. Where should I apply it?
R1.
Well, yeah, R1. Which interface on R1?
0/1.
0/1. Right. Access. No, it's actually IP. Access group 1 in. So you need to complete that one. It's not just those 2. You have to get the 3rd network in there as well. With the right mask. Okay, I've already done 4 because I did that beforehand. So I'm now on to 5. Creating that as follows. Okay, so working with NAT, I'm going to do this on R1. These are all static NAT statements. They're all static NAT statements. Oh man. I don't work too well with I work really great with NAT in ASAs. Hate working with NAT in routers. So guess what I get to do? I get to cheat. Reference to configure. Configuration guides. IP application services. Nope. Services.